One bet could end it all. In the endless black of space, where billionaires play God, a single whisper could ignite a war. Imagine two titans, their empires spanning Earth and beyond, locked in a grudge that started with a tweet and ended with the moon itself trembling. What if their arrogance didn't just launch rockets, but shattered worlds? Tonight, we uncover the forbidden bet that almost turned our satellite into cosmic rubble. But who pulled the trigger? Stay with me, because the truth will leave you staring at the night sky in fear. It was 2027, and the space race had evolved into something primal. A duel of egos between two men who owned more than fortunes. They owned dreams. Elon Musk, the electric visionary from South Africa, paced the sun-baked sands of Starbase. His eyes, sharp as a Falcon 9's thrust, scanned the horizon where his latest Starship prototype loomed like a silver behemoth. "Mars isn't a dream," he tweeted that morning, his fingers flying across the screen. "It's mine." But across the continent, in the humid sprawl of Florida, Jeff Bezos watched the same tweet on a holographic display aboard his superyacht. The Amazon founder, his bald head gleaming under the cabin lights, clenched a fist around a crystal tumbler of scotch. "Not if I claim the moon first," he murmured to his inner circle of engineers, their faces pale in the blue glow of schematics. These weren't just rivals. They were mirrors of unchecked ambition. Elon, the chaotic innovator, thrived on spectacle. Live streams of explosions turned into memes, each failure a step toward glory. Jeff, the calculated emperor, built in shadows. Blue Origin's new Glenn rocket, a silent predator designed for lunar dominance. Their paths had crossed before. Awkward handshakes at galas, veiled jabs in earnings calls. But this was personal. It started innocently enough. A private dinner in Davos, amid the snow-capped peaks, where champagne flowed and egos swelled. "Let's make it interesting," Elon had said, his grin wolfish. "First to land tourists on the moon wins the pot, and the loser's company." Jeff's eyes had narrowed, but he extended a hand. "You're on." What neither admitted was the fine print. Sabotage was fair game. And in the vacuum of space, rules were as fragile as a spacesuit seal. The bet ignited like a Raptor engine. Elon's team at SpaceX worked around the clock, their Boca Chica facility a hive of sparks and shouts. Starship SN-42 was the crown jewel, a 120-meter colossus capable of carrying 100 souls to the lunar surface. "We'll make history," Elon rallied his troops one dawn, as cranes hoisted fuel tanks under a blood-red sunrise. But whispers reached him. Anomalies in the supply chain. A shipment of titanium alloys from a Bezos-linked supplier arrived warped, forcing delays. Coincidence? Elon scoffed publicly, but privately, he unleashed his cyber wolves, a squad of ethical hackers probing Blue Origin's firewalls. Across the country, Jeff Bezos retreated to his Kent, Washington bunker, a fortress disguised as a horse ranch. Here, amid vaulted ceilings and holographic star maps, he orchestrated the counterstrike. Elon's showman, Jeff confided to his chief engineer, a grizzled ex-NASA vet named Harlan. But showmen fall hard. Harlan nodded, unveiling Project Eclipse, a swarm of microsatellites disguised as weather probes, each packing EMP bursts to scramble rival signals mid-flight. The first test came swift. As Starship's orbital burn lit the Florida sky, Jeff watched from a secure feed. At T plus 45 seconds, Eclipse activated, a silent pulse that fried Elon's guidance gyros. The rocket wobbled, flames licking its belly, before autonomous safeties kicked in. It splashed down in the Atlantic, intact but humiliated. Elon was livid. "Sabotage," he thundered in a midnight all-hands, his voice echoing off the hangar walls. Retaliation was swift. SpaceX drones infiltrated Blue Origin's Alabama test site, seeding malware into the new Glenn's avionics. Weeks later, Jeff's rocket, gleaming blue under floodlights, ignited with a roar, only to veer wildly, its thrusters betraying it in a cascade of error codes. Musk, Jeff growled, slamming a tablet that shattered on the concrete. The press feasted. Space wars escalate. Screamed headlines. Conspiracy forums buzzed. Was it industrial espionage or something darker? Tourists, lured by million-dollar tickets, began canceling. Investors jittered. But the billionaires? They doubled down as 2028 dawned. The stakes skyrocketed. Elon's revised Starship, now armored against pulses, prepped for the lunar hop. Jeff countered with Eclipse 2.0, not just jammers, but kinetic interceptors, tiny darts launched from orbital depots, programmed to graze and destabilize. The world held its breath during the duel announcements. SpaceX's Lunar Leap Gala in Austin, Bezos' veiled Blue Horizon reveal in Seattle. Champagne toasts masked the venom. To the winner, Elon toasted remotely, his hologram flickering. Jeff's response? A private launch, 3 darts streaking toward low Earth orbit, shadows in the sun. The climax brewed in the sea of tranquility. Elon's crew, a mix of hand-picked astronauts and wide-eyed civilians, boarded under Texas stars. Liftoff was poetry. A pillar of fire piercing the night, cheers erupting as it kissed orbit. But Harlan, monitoring from the yacht, initiated the sequence. Darts away, he whispered. Tiny specks hurtled from the shadows, zeroing on the Starship's trajectory. Collision was inevitable. A glancing blow that sheared off a solar array, sending debris spiraling. Alarms blared in the cockpit. Mayday, structural breach. The pilot radioed, voice steady but edged with panic. On the moon's surface, dust devils swirled as the lander touched down, barely. The tourists stumbled out, faces ashen, planting a flag that read, "Humanity's next step." Or so they thought. Jeff's triumph soured fast. Hours later, his own new Glenn launched for a rescue demo, but Elon's malware awakened. Thrusters misfired mid-ascent, the rocket tumbling like a drunk satellite. It plummeted, a fireball over the Pacific, scattering shrapnel across fishing fleets. Casualties mounted, 2 crew lost, billions vaporized. The world recoiled, FAA probes, SEC audits, front-page fury. Yet in their lairs, the Titans schemed on. "This isn't over," Elon messaged an encrypted channel. Jeff replied, "The moon remembers." But the real fracture wasn't in metal. It was in the lunar crust. Unbeknownst to the world, the bet's collateral was cataclysmic. During Elon's chaotic landing, the interceptor debris, those razor-sharp darts, rained down undetected. One pierced the regolith at 12 kilometers per second, burrowing deep into a fault line mapped only in classified NASA files. The moon, that ancient sentinel, groaned. Seismographs on Earth twitched, dismissed as solar flares. Jeff knew better. His telescopes caught the anomaly. A hairline rift spiderwebbing from the South Pole Aitken Basin, the solar system's largest impact scar. Panic set in. Harlan burst into Jeff's office, holograms flickering with fracture models. "Sir, it's unstable." One more tremor, double quotes. Jeff silenced him with a glare. "Fix it, or we're both finished." Meanwhile, Elon monitored from a Starlink constellation feed, his face illuminated by code streams. The rift? His doing indirectly. A counter-drone he deployed to intercept the darts had amplified the cascade. Guilt flickered, then hardened into resolve. "Leverage," he told his advisor. "We expose Bezos, claim the moral high ground." The duel peaked in secrecy. A neural-linked VR summit, avatars clashing in a simulated lunar storm. "You cracked it, Jeff." Elon's digital self snarled, fists raised. Your toys did this. Jeff's avatar lunged, pixels blurring. Liar, your hack sent it off course. Sparks flew, virtual, but the stakes real. As their avatars grappled, real-world alerts screamed. The rift widened, ejecting regolith plumes visible from Earth telescopes. Amateur astronomers flooded X. Moons breaking. Governments scrambled, Artemis missions rerouted, doomsday preppers stocked bunkers. The billionaires, gods no more, watched the chaos unfold. Who would blink first? In that frozen moment, as the moon's scar bled dust into the void, one truth emerged. Their egos had birthed a monster. But who fired the killing shot? Was it Elon's desperation, Jeff's precision, or something buried deeper in the regolith? A relic from Apollo days waiting to erupt. The crack spreads even now, and if it hits critical mass, tidal waves could drown coasts. Our world hangs by a lunar thread. What happens next? Does the bet claim Earth? Hit subscribe and ring the bell. Next week, the hidden Apollo bomb, Bezos' doomsday backup. Drop in comments, Team Elon or Team Jeff? Like if this chilled you. Until the stars align or shatter.